Mr. Walrus says, weren't we all just here? Pretty much. It hasn't been too long. Let me know if the audio's good. Everything looks good on my end. Hanging out for the next 90 minutes, as we do on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Couple things to take care of today. First, let's say let's go Rangers, because they do play tonight. It is now become, they won the first two, they lost the last two, so now it's become a 3-game series where they're on the road. So in New Jersey tonight, they got to do it. I did not grade my Moonbreon with Beckett. I graded it with PSA. It did not look like a black label to me. But that said, there are some black labels that don't look like black labels to me. Who knows? Maybe I should have went that way with it. We'll review that soon, though. I do have that ready. Right there. I've got it covered up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but maybe we'll look it over and everyone can guess. Let me make sure I cover up the cert number and the barcode. Everyone can look at it and then guess, I think, what it would be. Probably can't see it at all. Too much reflection, too much stuff going on. But yeah, my first ever Moonbreon that I've owned. I guess the background on it, we might as well start with Moonbreon. It was the thumbnail, so. I took it in trade. I had a PSA 10 Rockets Mewtwo EX from EX Team Rocket Returns. And I took that in a trade. It was raw Moonbreon at the time. And $900, I believe. So had the Moonbreon gotten a 10, it would have been about $1,000, about $1,900 on the Rockets Mewtwo, which last sold had been $1,600. So I think I was doing pretty good there. Obviously, if the Moonbreon had 9, if the Moonbreon's a 9, then I would have gotten less. So it was kind of like losing on a 9, winning on a 10. But it was like a pretty fair trade in my opinion. Gem mint or 6, no in between. I'll give it a minute or two to see if there's any guesses coming in. It's really hard to look and say through video, I'm sure. But I see Tennis Wolf is saying that he's cracking packs. I'm actually going to be cracking a couple packs too. We'll get to that after the Moonbreon. We'll probably get that right out of the way up front so that I don't forget it. But yeah, I did have these available last night on the website. I forget what I put them at, but I accidentally put them too high. I want to say I had them like $100 too high. I think I had them for $650, shipped sealed, and maybe I forget what it was, honestly. I don't know if anyone remembers, if anyone looked. They were too high in error. Anyways, I'm not going to be selling them on today's stream, but thank you, Melfi Collectibles. Melfi Collectibles forwarded a story along to me from Wolfie on Instagram, and Wolfie was looking to buy a couple Fossil First Edition heavy packs to have ripped to celebrate the birth of his daughter. So yeah, I'm gonna be ripping these right after we do the Moonbreon reveal. And I see Mike Canton saying easy 10, come on now. I mean, 80% of them do, and mine did. So 80% of them hit 10s. I pre-graded this one as a 90% chance at a 10. I mean, it was super clean. There would have been no reasonable way this was gonna get a 9. And it got the 10, so you'll love to see it. I guaranteed the Moonbreon would be a 10 in Orlando. It was it was as much of a lock 10 as I see. That said, I wouldn't quite go as far to say like black label, but who knows? Maybe I should have went that route. The silly premium. I would have had to sell it immediately if I got a black label. Given that it's a PSA 10 though, I don't know. I hope it did 10, but the centering left to right is a bit off. Now that you say that, yeah, I think it's a little bit, it looks a little thick on the right, I guess, slightly. Look, it could be like a 9.5 centering at BGS to keep it from the black label. But yeah, I haven't listed it yet. I don't know that I'm going to immediately list it. Maybe I'll bring it just for fun. Maybe I'll bring it to Dallas. I need to see what they've been selling for recently. I'm contemplating just keeping it for the memes, keeping it for the investment potential. I don't know. It's obviously the talk of the town as of right now. I do keep somewhere where to go. I think my evolutions box went. I don't think you can see it actually. My evolutions box went right here. So maybe Moonbreon will just hang out for a few weeks. Maybe we'll let settled and Mr. Walrus hang on to him for a while. Maybe he'll be a mainstay in the background, but fair bit more expensive. If I do PC that card, that would be well in excess of the Turtle Squad and Pig with Bacon Skis. Well in excess value of the PSA 10 Dan. That would be the most expensive thing in my background. So I don't know that I can justify keeping it. But for now it's on screen for the algorithm. Absolutely. What a pig, grading Moonbreon now. I think James sent his off finally, too. I don't know if James has gotten his back, but I do believe that James sent his back. Modern, gross, and disgusting. It's so clean and nice. I mean, come on, 80% 10 rate. All we want is 10s. But yeah, with that big Moonbreon reveal out of the way, how much does the BGS 9.5 Moonbreon sell for? I have no idea. I didn't look too deeply into it. I don't even know what the Pristine sells for. Don't put that card next to Bidoof. By the time it settles in, reprints will happen. Yeah. The prudent thing to do is almost certainly to have already listed it, and it probably would have sold. If I low list buy it not on eBay, it would probably already be gone if I did that this morning. But I've not yet done it. I already did my 10 listings for the day. I already have my 10 a day scheduled through like Monday. So I'm going to stew on it over the weekend. I'm going to be the proud owner of a PSA 10 Moonbreon through the weekend. Maybe I bring it to Dallas. And just have it in the case as one of those, like, it's funny. I could put like a trophy Pikachu. I actually did that. In Charlotte last year, I had a trophy Pikachu, a full art trophy Pikachu in the case. Some people knew exactly what it was and they were like amazed and awe. A lot of people didn't even look at it. They're like, oh, probably thought it was like an XY era full art. So it would be funny to put this in the case next to my CGC 8 base first Charizard, next to like, maybe I'll bring like an Art Academy card and just see. Maybe I'll have a little sheet with some check marks on how many comments I get. I bet you I would get more comments on the PSA 10 Moonbreon than on an Art Academy card, on a Scream card, on a Trophy Pikachu, anything like that. Can I please? I don't know why they move so much. I need to fasten them better to the wall. I guess I stomp around too much and they just get a little off kilter. Run a giveaway for the Moonbreon. Be for the people, Dan. I am doing some pretty good giveaways with this thing going on, the banner up above. But the Moonbreon is a little bit in excess. The Moonbreon is probably exceeding, like, well, so far I'm giving away the Zard UPC, a Scarlet and Violet booster box, so a couple $100. And then if it gets all the way to the an Evolving Skies booster box could contain a PSA 10 Moonbreon. So if we raise 5K, I will give away potentially a sealed booster box of containing potentially a PSA 10 Moonbreon. Shelves looking dangerously close to an episode of Hoarders. Yeah. Slab break on Moonbreon, $115 spots. Yeah, waffle it off, raffle it off. With Moonbreon out of the way, I do want to get into these fossil packs. I did, as I mentioned, I had these mispriced accidentally. I think I had them for $650. They were intended to be $550, and I think I meant to do $575 for ship sealed, and then $550 for rip live. Anyway, thank you, Melfi Collectibles. Melfi Collectibles sent me the story from Wolfie Collects. I'm not on Instagram a ton. I don't watch all the stories or anything. I look at some stories, some posts here and there, but I was able to get a couple packs sold due to Melfi Collectibles, so I appreciate that. After this, and after last night's stream, I do have 9 remaining heavy base. I'm not selling today, but I will be bringing to Dallas. And I do have 10 heavy fossil that I will be bringing to Dallas. So it'll be $550. $550 for the heavies, guaranteed. Fossil first edition, and then $700 for the base unlimited. But yeah, we're going to rip these right now. I've got all my sleeves ready. I'm going to sleeve every card just because pretty pricey pack. Fossil, you don't have Pikachu, you don't have Eevee. you don't have those ones to save you. Let me do my quick verification to make sure I'm not costing myself money ripping light packs. Because these do have a holo guarantee. 21.6, super heavies. 21.6, so we're good to go. We're going to start with Aerodactyl. Mr. Walrus says, I tag Dan on every story. I make sure he watches them, even if it doesn't pertain to him. So Wolfie68, I'm assuming, is Wolfie Collects on Instagram. So yeah, we got Wolfie in here. Let me sleeve as I go. We got a nice energy search. We got a Krabby. I don't know what the best PSA 10 non-holos are in Fossil. But yeah, like I said, there's definitely nothing to save you. Not that Pikachu or Eevee really save you like they did in 2020. But they're still over $100. So I don't know that there's any over $100 PSA 10s. Probably not in Fossil. We got a Grimer. We're very slow rolling it with the sleeving. Oh, I wasn't even ready for it to be the holo, but a Lapras. That's actually a pretty solid holo. You can see a slight curve going on there just due to the age of these. PSA thankfully does not dock for that. I can either show you guys or I can see myself. I can't really see myself when I'm looking in the camera. But I think the holo looks clean. I see a couple light scratches. I was going to say I don't see like a major print line. A little bit of whitening on the back. Little bit of whitening, minor holo scratch. To me, it feels like a 9. Doesn't feel like a 10. A 10 would be a W, I think, with Lapras. Very hard to grade. But yeah, very nice. Very nice Lapras there in the first pack. And Wolfie mentioned he's celebrating with these packs, so we've got a nice Lapras to start off. I will probably just card saver up everything when I go to ship it. We got one more pack. We got Zapdos artwork to go. Wolfie seems happy with the hit. So there we go. Yeah, I'd asked Wolfie if he wanted them shipped sealed, and he said go ahead and rip them. So I'm ripping them for him. If he wants more, I guess I've got more. But I did get confirmation that he wanted them ripped. Dan Robot Hype. Yeah, sorry, you won't get the over the top reacts here. That's about as big as I go. Let's see if we can get the Dragonite or the Gengar. Dragonite or the Gengar, I think, are the... I love the birds, though, too. I know the Pool Father recently opened a pack. He's constantly opening heavy packs. It only takes one. And he hit a legendary bird the other day. I won't spoil which one. Kabuto. Horsey. I always lose track count. I never know when it's coming exactly, so it's always a little bit of a surprise. Ekans, so it's not there yet. And yeah, congrats Wolfie. Later, first fave Pokemon will be Lapras. Thank you, bro. Oh, there we go. We got the Gengar. You love to see the Gengar. I'm going to let me set aside the Ekans and make sure we get this Gengar sleeved. A little bit of silvering going on, which is not atypical with Fossil. But yeah, let's let me inspect it first. Little bit of silvering. Holo looks pretty clean overall. 10, I mean, obviously, most people know 10s are very hard to get. I would be surprised if it were to get a 10. But yeah, Gengar and Lapras, I mean, you can't be too upset with that, I don't think. That's pretty solid. I think Dragonite would be one that you would tend to go towards if you could choose. But Gengar would be right up in that conversation. And then as far as like being low pop, Lapras is up there as well. So I'm glad we didn't do like a muck. I'm glad we didn't do like a muck Muck Haunter or something. I do love Haunter, but like the Fossil Haunter, I don't know. I like Haunter better as a Pokemon, but I like the Gengar card a lot better from Fossil. So yeah, I appreciate you, Wolfie. I appreciate you buying some packs. Congratulations again on the new little one, and I believe I'm gonna have to open every pack from now on. No Magneton. Um, yeah, congrats again, and thank you. Um, those are the main things I wanted to do for this stream, and then as I always do, just hanging out. So I will get those shipped out tomorrow. I will have the remainder of the heavy packs in. I keep wanting to say I was stuck on Denver for a long time, and now my mind's been stuck on Orlando. I keep wanting to say Orlando, but in Dallas. A week from tomorrow, I will be in Dallas, which is crazy to think. Yeah, we didn't pull a Polyrath at least. um, thank you too, Wolfie. Thank you too. Um, yeah, I will have the heavy, the right behind me. I'm shipping down some packs. I'm shipping down like ultra modern packs. I'm not shipping these ones down. I'm gonna bring these down with me. But I have not put anything together yet. I literally have a box right next to me of Scarlet and Violet and Crown Zenith packs. I am bringing some Medizu native packs, loose packs from Spellbooks as well. And I'm gonna ship down. I think I'm gonna ship down a case of native booster boxes too. I think they might do all right. But I miss Shower Glow Dan's stream. I guess I have the memory. um, but yeah, I will be at Dallas Collecticon, and I will have a lot of slabs. I do have a whole table, so I'll have a lot of slabs. I'm gonna try a little bit of raw cards. I know that I didn't. I did a little bit of raw in Denver, and it didn't do great. It was raw Medizu actually, but I think I don't know. I feel like native singles might do fine. I don't think I'm gonna bring any raw Pokemon. Right now, I just have the Troll and Toad Evo outlet that is like leaving me soon. I have less than a year left of it, so I'm trying to just push everything that I can to them. I don't have a ton of Pokemon singles that would make sense, so I'm just going to. I know Chloe. Chloe's going to be there. Yeah. Chloe's going to be there. I might hit up Rusty too. Like, hey, if and when I don't sell out in Orlando or in Dallas, are you a buyer on any of these? Are you looking for any more of these? And I'm sure we could work out a situation where he wins, I win, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I know a lot of people had success. That raw Modern Bee flying at Collecton. I know a lot of people had a lot of success with raw. I contemplated putting together a binder. One, it's just like I don't have a ton of raw Pokemon, so I am going to put together a small binder of Medizu, and I will have like one of each card that I have in quantity. I will have in a binder, and then if they point to, oh, do you have more of these? Like, oh yeah, I've got 10 of them, 12 of them, whatever it is. I'm probably, I mean, you can fit 1,000 cards. You can fit 1,000 cards in one of these, and I probably have space in my luggage to bring like 4 or 6 of them if I wanted to. So who knows? Maybe next week I'll have some time. I probably won't, but maybe I'll have some time and I can dig up some Pokemon singles. I do have some random stuff that I'll bring. I guess I have some like random top stuff that I'll bring. I'm gonna bring some of these like oddities that I have. I have these on my eBay. I showed them off a while ago, but like I'm gonna bring some of these oddities and just see if they catch anyone's eyes. These Topps uncut cards, some of the I'm only gonna grab one here, but I have a lot more than one. Some of these Topps jumbos. I'm gonna bring some of this like obscure oddity stuff and see if anyone takes a look at it. See if anyone cares. I mean, I'll price it well. I'm contemplating grading some of these, not these ones, but some of these myself. Very very niche thing to grade. Very very expensive to grade, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Mostly it's gonna be slabs and heavy packs. Heavy packs are like I've said that I want them to be my brand a little bit. Like, hey, if you want a heavy WotC pack, come find Dan. He's gonna have the best prices there. I will have, just based on limited and fossil, I went really hard in Orlando. I had base set 2. I guess I could bring my top series too. Maybe I'll bring these. Maybe I'll bring these if anyone wants these. because they're like a cheaper option, 30 or 40 bucks a pack, whatever it is. I appreciate you, Java. Java dropped in 5 gifted. I talked to Java earlier because I saw that he was going live at 4:45, and I'm like, wow, that seems pretty early for Java. But I'm like, hey, I'll run 5 minutes late. You start 5 minutes early, and I'll raid you. So I was planning on raiding Java when I thought he was starting at 4:45 because I end at 4:30. But he's actually going live tonight, so be sure to go check out Java Akuma. Let me drop a link to his channel. He's going to be live tonight, I believe, ranking legendary Pokemon, so like a tier list. I've not yet done any content like that in on my channel. I mean, I did do the Sporkle thing for the charity event, the banner that's up here. But I do want to do in the next couple of weeks, I want to do like a Sporkle stream. Before this ends, I want to study, and I want to see how many out of 150 I can get while studying. Because like I only got 88 without any studying, intentionally spending a couple weeks not trying to pay attention to base one or original 151 Pokemon. I want to study and see how many I can get. And then I want to do, I know Top 10 Pokemon recently did a Sporkle every set. So like all 100 sets that Pokemon's ever released from base set all the way up to Scarlet and Violet. I think I can get most of those. I think I can do really well on that because I opened every set and I remember having spreadsheets with the checklists and all that stuff. So yeah, go check out Java. He's streaming tonight doing a tier list. I think it would be fun to just mix in like, hey, today I'm going to do a handful of tier lists. I've actually talked a little bit with Java. Not directly. I guess we've talked indirectly through like live streams. He's mentioned in a live stream, he played Rocket League with Josh, the Green Shiz. And it would be cool to do like an old school RuneScape stream. One, personally, me, myself, and then maybe go on his channel and play together someday. Maybe run raids on my stream at some point. I think there's just a lot of fun stuff you can do. And I think it's cool when people branch out. And we love the cards. We love talking to market. We love talking to reprint, population reports. But it's also fun to like just explore other things, right? Semi-Pokemon related, even completely non-Pokemon related. I think it can be fun. So don't forget stuff for pack challenge. I don't know if you mean like trade up challenges in Dallas. I don't know if I'll universally say no to trade up challenges, but I'm leaning towards it. I don't think I'm gonna put a sign up that I don't do trade up challenges. When I see someone doing them, I'm just gonna send them to Nick. I think it was Mr. Walrus that said that, I think, on a recent Pokeflips. Just point over to, hey, that guy over there, he loves trade up challenges. He'll be sending everyone to me. I'll be sending them to him. Yeah, looking forward to not meeting you, Java, because we already met, but I'm looking forward to seeing you again in Charlotte. And actually, hopefully, talking to you more extensively than we did for a couple minutes last time. Make sure Xerneas is S tier. Any more cool, obscure items you can show off in your inventory? I am getting close. So by the end of May, I think, going back over the past several months, I think I've probably said the date, I don't even know how many times, but I've probably said a date 5 times. And initially it was probably like March, by April, by May. By the end of May, I will be really, really in a good spot, I think, as far as having everything unearthed, having every mystery box, every mystery tote opened. I have some really niche obscure stuff I've been coming across the last couple of weeks, because like I am going through a couple storage locations where I keep stuff, and I won't have everything listed by the end of next month, by the end of May, but I think I will have everything unearthed. So like I've been finding random, like a Team Rocket Returns blister pack that I bought 6 months ago that I forgot about. At some point that will stop happening, because I will have gone through everything. So yeah, I guess I'll probably find stuff, put it into a new thing, and then eventually forget about it and find it in a year again. But I don't have anything on hand, like within reach. I guess I see one thing. I see one random thing. Let me just awkwardly lean into my microphone. I used to buy everything. Like I am a legit hoarder. I have just silly, weird stuff like this. Like this top stuff, I saw it on eBay, so I bought it. Like collectible dog tags. I remember buying a collection, local. It was local to me on Craigslist, and it had a bunch of cards, and it had like marbles, and it had battling coins, and then it had these random, like, you can see them on eBay. They're not worth much, but like, yeah, these collectible. There's 20 different dog tags. I probably have them all. They're limited edition. Pokemon used to make everything. I have toothbrushes. I have Pikachu cameras. I have just bins and bins of all this stuff. And Hoarder Dan, Collector Dan, it was cheap. It made sense. A lot of it is still super cheap. And I need to figure out the best way to get rid of it. Because, like, it is cool to have one-off random things like that from time to time. The sheer quantity, though, that I had acquired, and just the sheer quantity I still have in just totes and totes, I need to get rid of them. Like, they're just using up space that I just need to get rid of them. Not gonna lie, that Cubone artwork slaps. Yeah, he's let me go back to Cubone. He's got a nice action pose going on. He's about to club someone in the head. But just silly. I can't justify bringing these things. Let those kids trade up to a toothbrush. I don't think I can really justify bringing these things to, like, Dallas, because people might look at them and say, oh, that's neat, that's cool. But, like, in the space that this takes up, I can fit like 6 or 8, like 4 or 6 slabs, I guess. I can bring hundreds of dollars worth of stuffs, or I can bring like $5 or $10 worth of dog tags. They're also hard to ship too. Like they're bigger, they're more expensive to ship. So it's hard to even think of the best way to get rid of them, because it's just not very efficient. I guess if I know they do like local things around me, like a community yard sale, a community garage sale, where you can buy a booth, and maybe I should try selling locally at a thing like that. I don't know, but I probably have more stuff within reach that I just can't pick out right now, but way too much stuff. Anyways, yeah, that takes care of the Moonbreon. That takes care of the fossil packs. One other thing I did want to show and say, buy it now consignments are something that I do. Buy it now consignments are something that, for anyone who watches and knows James, ZNG Emporium, probably everyone watching right now knows who James is, knows who ZNG Emporium is. He has not completely made it public yet. I think he's doing a video like today or tomorrow, maybe, or maybe next week. But he is going to be doing something price-wise very, very attractive for, I don't know all the details of it, but I know some of the pricing, and I'm just not going to be able to compete on a lot of items for buy it now consignment. I did want to point out this buy it now consignment. This is one that I have in right now. I just lowered the price. The consignor reached out to me, wanted to lower the price. We're at 4,000 or best offer right now. This is pop 1 of 2, top pop, none higher. So it's a black dot error. For anyone unsure of what that means, it's a legitimate error in that it happened in enough quantity that PSA recognized it. And it's that black dot right there in the Nintendo and the copyright date. So errors are funny, because like if you have a one-off ink dot error, no one's going to care. Well, some people care. I shouldn't say it that way. PSA will not care. Like PSA will not designate a one-off error that isn't, like, it need to have happened enough times that PSA actually will label it and recognize it. Because like the War Turtle Evolution Box error, the Blastoise stage error, errors like that happened not on every card, but on enough cards that deemed it worthwhile, I guess. So anyways, this is a card that I just lowered. It's on my eBay. It's 4,000 or best offer. If you've got a number, I mean, I think the 9s, the regular 9s unlimited, go for 800 to 1,000 now, depending on how strong they are, weak they are, depending buy now auction, depending on the day. But yeah, this one's obviously asking multiples of that. But if you've got a different number in mind, feel free to shoot an offer. It's one of the rare items that I do have best offer open. So the consignor has given me a little bit of like negotiating room. And I can also just, I can just consult with them and go back and forth if we end up close. But yeah, I wanted to show that off. As far as moving ahead, if anybody reaches out to me in the next week or two before James makes his formal announcement, because he's just teased it in a couple of videos, but I'm honestly going to tell, like I had one person talking to me today. He's probably in chat right now. I think I did see him earlier in chat. I definitely saw him earlier in chat. I'm not going to make a bad buyer experience by like the time that I've gotten all my consignments currently in hand. I did not know James was going to be doing buy it now consignments. When I started doing buy it now consignments, I kind of knew that they could have been a finite time space to do it, because if a contracted eBay seller decided to do them, they could run me out of town with the rates. And also if eBay Vault with the opening of that to the public, if and when that ever comes, they could functionally just take away my whole consignment business. They could make it not make sense. The reason I offered it is because it was unique and different, and I could be competitive given that I was the only show in town, right? I mean, Nick does a little bit too, and I was right in line with his prices. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to reach out to me to do new buy it now consignments, I'll probably have you hold off until James makes his public announcement so that you can see if you want to go to him. At the end of the day, some people might still want to go with me, with my rates, with my whatever the case may be. I'm not going to turn people away, but I also don't want to like tease people in and then have them find out a week later that James is going to have this new thing they wish they rather did. I know a lot of my consigners, actually, a lot of my buy it now consigners use me and James. They use James for auctions, and then they use me for buy it nows. Rusty has sent people my way. This specific person right here, this person reached out to Rusty, and then Rusty sent them to me. So yeah, if I'm not the best fit for you, if I can't offer you competitive or good rates that are like mutually beneficial, win-win, I'll just pass you along to who can. So once James' rates go public, if and when he's going to be better for you in all instances, I'll just, yeah, buy it now consignments are like pause, whatever. Maybe someday I can offer them again in the future. But we'll have to see what his rates are. Maybe I can beat him on certain aspects or provide value elsewhere. But anyways, that's I wanted to point out that this has a new price in case anyone's interested. Go to eBay and send me an offer. And if not, I guess I wanted to do a little bit of advertising for James. He's dropped hints in live streams the last couple streams, but he should have a public video soon announcing it in more detail. And it does look good. If I weren't trying to build my own eBay and do what I'm doing with them, there'd be some cards that I would send to him probably. But the marbles are pretty cool. I actually have the Pokeball display case. I think I have, does anyone remember Polly Pockets? My sister had Polly Pockets growing up. I have like Pokemon Polly Pocket things. I don't know what they're called, but like it makes me think of Polly Pockets that my sister used to have. I have so much random stuff, all just in totes and boxes and stuff. I've been going through them periodically, and I'll just randomly find like booster packs of cards and stuff in the bottom. But overall, I am getting close to being through my backlog, and then once I'm through it, I think I can hopefully start to get back more into buying mode. I still do buy things occasionally. One nice thing about the branding, one nice thing about putting yourself out there, which I mentioned in my video on Monday, more buys find me now. More buys find me, and people will just hit me up and say, hey, do you want to buy my collection? And I've had a lot of great like win-win relationships built where I just buy people's things on an ongoing basis. Brad G Card says, my sister had hella Polly Pockets, LMAO, that took me back. I have probably like 10 or 12 Pokemon. I think there's a name for them. There's like a proper name for them. That Polly Pocket was like a different brand of like little girl dolly type things. But anyways, that's funny. I have all my Pogs from when I was younger. I have all my Tech Decks. I have all my Crazy Bones. I have all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna list some of it on eBay here and there. Maybe I'll make a fun video at some point about like, this is what I found in my storage units. This is what I found. Like, catch 'em all, collect. I'm not gonna sell mystery boxes. I don't think. I don't know. Like, I'm torn. I'm actually torn. Not with that kind of stuff, but I don't think I have any handy. But like all these slabs that I sell for anywhere between 15 and 25. I know Rusty does one. Rusty does a random graded card on eBay. He does a random PSA 9, random CGC 9 graded Pokemon card. And there are cards in my store that are not selling for $19.99 that if I sold them in a mystery bag of one random Pokemon card, people would buy it and get it and love it. Like, people would love getting a CGC 9 McDonald's Charmander. But they just don't search that out. Like, they search out graded Pokemon card. Like, a mom buys it for their kid for their birthday. A grandma buys it for their kid for their grandkid for Christmas, whatever it may be. I might eventually do Like, here's a lot of 5 random Pokemon cards. Price it really well. I mean, undercut the competition, whatever it. At the end of the day, I don't love the idea, but it's like I would move 10 times the sub $20 slabs that I do now. And I wouldn't do like the scammy style where I'm giving them CGC 4 or PSA 4 Weedles and like absolute junk like that. One, I don't have much, if any of it left. I bulk sold those to like whatnot streamers in the past. But yeah, like when you're grading a dollar card and it hits a 9, a lot of people would still like that card for 15 or 20 bucks or something like that. But they're not going to search it out and they're not going to find it if you list it for 15 as what it is. So it's kind of a weird thing. But yeah, Leaf Green Goblin. I'll probably make a video at some point. Need to figure out what the title is. I probably have a thumbnail somewhere that works, but I'll show off my toothbrushes, my Polly Pocket things, my marbles. I have a complete set of marbles with the Pokeball carrying case. I have a couple displays that used to be in like Toys R Us for some of the trading figures. I bought one on eBay and I also got one locally. I hope it was someone who had approval to like Pokemon was getting rid of or Toys R Us was getting rid of the display, and then the manager said, "Oh yeah, you can take that home." I hope it wasn't like a theft type situation, but I also have a bunch of uncut sheets that I want to get listed in the coming months. That, I mean, I think the only uncut sheet that we know 100% was given out legitimately was the Fossil First Edition uncut sheet, and a lot of the other uncut sheets, like the fact of the matter is that a lot of them walked out of the back door of the factory, kind of like the Fusion Strike Altarts and Rainbow Rares that recently happened. Whether some people had approval or whether not, whether someone gave approval that didn't have the permission to give approval for things like that, who knows? But yeah, iPhone says, what's your take on light packs? Open them and sell the singles or sell as light booster packs? Sell them as light booster packs. Like, people do pack collections. People collect one of every pack art. So either grade them. Any graded pack, I would presume, is light. I think it's only reasonable to presume every graded pack is light. Some people grade unweighed packs, I'm sure. And years ago, I'm sure some people did. But yeah, grading them or selling them raw to people who want to collect a booster pack art set. But yeah, I'm assuming Get That Effing Bread is with respect to doing like a random graded TCG Pokemon card and PSA CGC 8 or higher. I won't do a photo. Like I would never do. I would not put this in that photo. I would take 50 actual slabs. Like I probably have 100 or 200 that I could do that with. I would take at least 50 actual slabs that I would put into that mystery lot, and I would take pictures of those. I would not have this. I would not have my Moonbreon in there. A lot of people bait 1 in 100 shot at getting this. My listing would explicitly state there is no chance of getting anything worth more than $20, $25. Like, every card will be sub $5 raw and sub $20 graded, and I'll be selling it for like 15 or 20 bucks. I'm not going to play any of those games. eBay doesn't even allow you, but some amount of people do. I'm not going to have bounties. I'm not going to have spin wheels. Chris Gates asked if he missed the Moonbreon. The Moonbreon got a 10. So yeah, you did, but it got a 10, thankfully. But what some people will do is they'll say, oh, random PSA graded Pokemon card. 1999, 1 in 100 chance, 1 in 1,000 chance to get the Moonbreon, to get the Charizard Black Dot Error. I'm not going to touch that one. And Rusty doesn't either. I haven't looked at his listings in a while, but he made a video and he talked about it a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, a few months ago, I think. Let me pull up his eBay. I think he does it in like a tasteful, reasonable way. There's going to be no duck races, no spin wheels, no bounties about it, no long shot chance at this. It's going to be you just get what you get. Let me look up in his store graded Pokemon. I think he has, maybe he doesn't have it anymore. I know he had it for a long time, but maybe he sold through everything he needed to sell on there. He made a video talking about it where he showed that he was one of like the top search results when you search Pokemon card. Oh, how's it going, Alex? Yeah, appreciate that. I saw the ship my cards postponer or something like that. Yeah, like here's a lot. Here's a lot where it's a random. Let me see if I can pull this up. I guess I can just take a screenshot of it and pull it up as an image. But like this is what I don't want to do. Ooh. And I'm not gonna show the seller. I have no idea who the seller is, but this is what I don't want to do. This is what I don't like. Let me pull up an image. I don't want to pull up the live page because I'm logged in and I don't want to end up doxing myself or showing something. I don't know. Let me slide over here so I don't cover myself up. But this is the example of like what I don't want to do. It says graded Charizard Pokemon card, great slab birthday / Christmas gift, and it's $66. And the first image is a PSA 9 base set first edition Charizard. You cannot get that in this lot. There's no way. Like even if they sell 1,000 of these, there's no way they're putting one randomly in 1,000. And then the other cards that it does show like a Sword Shield 262, Charizard V-Star PSA 9. That card you can actually get, but that card is like a $20, $30 card, and they're selling it for 66 bucks. Like they're showing a PSA 10 base first edition Charizard in image number 5. I'm not gonna do that if and when I do one of these listings. It's just so. It says each lot will contain one graded Charizard. It can be EX, VMAX, V-Star, Rare, Holo Rare. So like most likely, you're going to be getting a PSA 5 non-holo rare Charizard from Vivid Voltage, and yet they're showing $20,000, $250,000 cards. I just don't, and you can actually see their feedback is 96.3%. It's probably, yeah, don't buy from this guy. I'm about to sue him. He's a fraud and ripoff. Your pictures are misleading. Thank you. Like, I'm not going to do that. Let me see if I can find Rusty's if I keep scrolling. But, like, here's one. This is, I just found Josh's. I just found Old Card Shop. So, this is one that's tastefully done. It's a PSA BGS CGC graded card. He shows a PSA 9 Champions Path Charizard. That's a card that he will actually include. Another card that he shows is a PSA 9 Birthday Pikachu from Celebrations. That's another card he would actually include. Like, shout out to Josh, Old Card Shop. It's for one random card, graded, none lower than 8. No energy, no trainer cards. Yeah, some are worth more than what you pay, some are worth less. Like, probably if I had to guess, they're probably worth anywhere between $15 and $25 if you look at like low list buy it now. I mean, some might go down to like 10 or 12 bucks. But at the end of the day, like, let me just pull up. Let me pull up this listing to show you what more is, in my opinion, appropriate and reasonable. I was listening to, it was on the Paper Hands podcast. So his new eBay username is apparently selling bags, which is funny that I just found his listing. Let me see if this pulls it up now. So this is a way, in my opinion, to like tastefully do. I mean, the name Thrifty kind of gave him some crap because the name wasn't so tasteful, selling bags. But he has his pictures are a PSA 9 full art Charizard, and then he has a bunch of cheap slabs laying there, like a PSA 7 Hitmonchan. He has like cards you might actually receive. That's the way to do it. And he says right in the description, you might get some that are worth a little bit more. You might get some that are worth a little bit less, but you're not going to get a $20,000 thing. He's already sold 7. So he's already sold 7. They're moving. And I'm assuming he'll get positive feedback from it because it's 20 bucks shipped all in. Yeah, his name's Selling Bags. That's hilarious. I need to go back and watch Rusty's video so that I can see. Maybe, let me just search his store for random. or mystery. I don't know. I'm not seeing it come up in. Oh, no, mysterious fossil. I was gonna say I found it, but I didn't. Anyways, that might be something that I do. We weren't roasting Josh, Mr. Walrus. We were actually saying that he tastefully did a mystery slab lot on eBay when some people didn't. I'm buying that $66 for a base first art as a steal. Dan pointing out all the scammers in the hobby. It would be funny. Like, it would be funny if I searched it and then I found like Old Skool Pokemon or found somebody selling a bad deal. Yeah, Echo. I was going to sell to Echo, but he said he's set right now. I was gonna hit him up with just like a couple hundred slabs. I think like I don't get I probably have. Let me just pull up my eBay. I'm not gonna pull it up on stream, but I'm gonna pull it up on my side. If I had to guess, I probably have 200 or 300 slabs listed sub 25, and maybe it's more. But at the end of the day, like to make a separate dedicated listing to sell a one-off of a $25 slab, in a lot of ways just isn't worth it. Like, I would rather sell a card that I'm going to list at $25. I would rather just sell a $25 low list in a $19.99 mystery slab lot. Like, because then the buyer kind of wins. The buyer kind of wins in that they pay 20 and they get one for the low list is 24. Last sold might be $15 on auction, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's almost like a win-win because I don't have to create a special one-off auction for a cheap card I only make a few bucks on. I can move more quantity through that one listing. And yeah, it just feels like you're creating a win-win. So I have 200 listings. Let me see. I have 200 listings, sub 28. So I don't have a ton of them, but like some of them I have quantity of. And there are some cards that like I have listed for 6 months at $28 and they're not selling. I would rather just sell those for $19.99 mystery slab and get rid of them. So I have 100 slabs, $25 and under. Anyways, that's something I'll probably end up doing eventually. I just haven't done it yet. It's not my favorite thing. I would rather just sell actual specific things. But like at the end of the day, that's what people want. That's what the consumer wants. Like, they don't know what they want. I say this all the time. People are allergic to money. They don't know what they want exactly. They want a graded Pokemon card and they don't want $20. I have $20. I don't want it. I want any Pokemon card instead. So there's a market for it. Tastefully and mystery is a weird choice of words. I get it. I definitely get it to an extent. But like at the end of the day, the core product, the core item in our hobby is mystery. The core item in our hobby is like the fundamental basis of the hobby is built on booster packs, which are like, let me just grab a random pack I have here. Like Scarlet and Violet booster pack. What is it? $3, $4? Why do you pay $4 for mystery when 80-90% of the time you're going to get less than that? Like, why not just buy what you want? The EV is negative. Unless you're opening rated release, unless you're buying wholesale. So it's not my favorite thing, but I probably will succumb to the whole 1999 here's a random card thing. How's it going, Hunter? Nice to see you. Supporter for three months. I appreciate that. But yeah, 85 people hanging out. I'm about halfway through the stream, about 40 minutes to go. If anyone's got any specific questions, let me know. I think I covered like all the random stuff that I wanted to talk about. I'm constantly I've been behaving, honestly. I've been getting through some backlog, and I've only got 10 months left of Troll and Toad Evo, so I'm chucking stuff out to that before it closes. But I'm pursuing other outlets, other avenues that I can use after Troll and Toad Evo is done. I'm also getting to where I'm going to get back into buying. Probably by June, I'm going to get back into where I actually look. Like right now, I'm not looking. What comes to me, some of it I buy, some of it I don't. But I don't browse eBay really. I don't browse Burbank. I don't really. I get tagged in stuff and then I buy it sometimes. But I want to get back to where I actually like sourcing. I like treasure hunting. I like looking on eBay for deals, auctions, ending soonest, auctions above $1,000 ending soonest, whatever it may be, Heritage Gold and PWCC, rare candy. I haven't been looking hardly at all, a little bit here and there. But Dan, what's the homie price on the uncut Topps Beedrill line? Throw me a number. If you want to throw it in YouTube live chat, if you want to do a live negotiation, let me know. Or shoot me a DM. Either way, I'm cool with it. You're in Dallas, right? You're gonna be in Dallas? Nick ran the section this time, so he took all the payments. I don't remember exactly who's going. I have a bad memory, but yeah. If you want to do the negotiation live in YouTube chat, we can. If you want to take it to DMs, we can too. Platinum J, the Moonbreon got a 10. Got a 10, thankfully. I've not yet listed it. I might hang on to it for a little bit. Not like long term. I'm not investing in it. If anything, I might hang on to it for the same reason I'm hanging on to a sealed Evolving Sky or Evolutions booster box. Slightly for the memes, slightly for like just context, like keeping everything in context, keeping everything in like the right frame of mind. I think it's important to see and know like what market we're in and what we're all doing here. So things like that keep you rooted in reality. Might feel weird to hear that said, but I think some people might understand. Hopefully everyone understands what I'm saying. But yeah. I think I actually just thought back like I missed the question. Let me go back and find it because I think somebody, yeah, there we go. Question: where is your go-to for sourcing large raw Pokemon collections? How do you source your 28K TCG binder collection? So it was, I don't know if it was a typo or it was 48K. It was 25K of non-Pokemon and 23K of Pokemon. That found me. That came into my DMs. The video on Monday, I talked about putting yourself out there, and I've been out there for 8-9 years. 8-9 years, I've had a public presence on E4, on Instagram, on YouTube, on various Discords, and I'm at a point now in my career, in my journey where, and I'm not like trying to pump myself up with this, but like people know me to an extent, and people know to reach out to me. I think he was actually referred to. He was in a Discord. I think he was in Low Popping's Discord. Low Popping is someone I've actually talked to periodically, and like networking and having a face out there, putting yourself out there, being a brand, being a person, being a known person in the space, being trusted, doing good business. You get people referred to you. So I think in Low Popping's Discord, I think someone referred him to like Nick, to Rusty, to myself. He DM'd all of us, and then I was the lucky one to end up closing the deal with him. So yeah, like I do want to get back into like sourcing myself, but thankfully I've put myself in a spot where a lot of sourcing just automatically happens, and I've benefited from the years of like putting in that hard. You can't just make that happen overnight. You can't. I guess if you have a ton of money and everyone knows it and they know what you're after, like if you had a base set first edition booster box, you knew to hit up Logan Paul. James talked about how he like DM'd him and was kind of surprised that he answered and ended up making the deal. But anyways, yeah, being present in a space, being a positive influence over years, that compounds on itself, and that leads to a little bit of like autopilot sourcing, which is great. I put my business card in every single eBay transaction I do, and some amount of people like, hey, I bought this card from you, and I have like 20 cards that I don't want anymore. I want to sell. Like I do get people saying, hey, I saw on your business card that you put in my eBay order. They email me or they go to my website. And one thing that shocked me running a Shopify website, how many people contact me through the contact form on there. So I get an email to my catchemallcollectibles@gmail.com, and it says it came from the website. They either go to my email list, which I don't think I've ever sent out an email to my email list, except for if Shopify does any automated ones. But I get like a couple a week where people fill out the contact form and say, hey, Dan, I'm looking to sell my collection. I'm looking to consign some cards, like through my contact form on my website, which kind of surprised me. But yeah, that was a funny little thing I found. Oh, I'm 100% a hoarder. A lucky hoarder too. All this stuff could have become worthless, right? I mean, there were a lot of people that hoarded Beanie Babies. There was a lot of people that hoarded junk wax, sports cards, and things like that. But Sorry, Andy. I had missed your question. I saw you asked it a couple times actually. I finally got to it though. Um, Let me catch up on the rest of the questions. It's a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to going for a bike ride with the kids, or going for a walk with the kids, or just playing on the swing set. Definitely something. Grilling some steaks tonight for dinner too, so that'll be good. There will not be a chance at a Moonbreon mystery bag. If you ever see me doing that, call me out, at me, blow me up, send me to Rattle, send me to Opossum Bud. Call me out if I ever do that. If I do a mystery bag, a mystery slab, it will have 50 cards photographed that are all cheap, that are all sub 20, 25. No lottery. I see Andy dropped it one more time. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it, but I did finally get to your question. Sorry. um, have I noticed a decrease in eBay traffic the past few days? I've not personally. I think what a lot of people do, like I have 2,500 listings, and I sell on average anywhere between 15 and 30 a day. I think people just extrapolate from very small sample sizes. Like I've heard people say, oh, eBay fell off a cliff this week, the market's headed for something bad. But it's like, how many listings do you have in your store? Oh, 150. When's the last day that you listed? 3 weeks ago. Like you can't, and I'm not saying this is you, Dan Hazard. I don't know what your eBay store looks like, but a lot of times it's just an example of like small anecdotes trying to be extrapolated into something bigger. If you're Old Skool Pokemon who does 80 orders a day, 100 orders a day, that's more of a representative sample. And even me, like there are some days I'll do 8. I'll be like, man, I only have, I print out a scan form and it's like, there's only 8 packages. Like, I don't even know if I need to do the scan form. And then the next day it'll be 48 or like long-term average though, 20 to 25 a day. And even that I don't feel is a big enough sample size to be like representative. I list 10 listings a day. I'm constantly listing. There's constantly something new, fresh, low list on eBay. And those disproportionately, the newer listings sell better than the older listings. A listing doesn't get old if it's priced well and just sells, right? Listings only become old and stale because they weren't priced well or because the market's going down. They were priced well, but then the market went down and they're not priced well anymore. So me personally, eBay traffic, sales, everything like that feels good. I don't look though too much at like the specific analytics. I probably should more, but I don't. I don't know. Maybe you're not talking sales, but just actual traffic, like the clicks. I look a little bit here and there periodically, but not as much as I should. $100 we can do the transaction in Dallas. I've sold a couple on eBay for full price, 250, and I've sold a couple for 200. 150 I definitely can. Maybe, yeah. I don't know about 100. I feel like if I go to like, if I send out offers for like 180 on eBay, it'd probably sell, because I have had quite a few people message me about them. Some people were like the common thing, hey, let me wait till next paycheck, and then they never come back. Some people actually said, let me wait till next paycheck. They came back and then they bought it. I do 150. I'll bring it to Dallas. I'll have it there. I'm sure we can find somewhere between 100 to 150. Can you mess up your eBay algorithm listing sporadic quantities? Say you list daily, but one day you do 10, next day 30, next day 3 to 5. Does quantity consistency matter as well as listing daily? I'm not 100%. The way that I do it, if I have great inventory that I want to get to market and sell, I will go well above 10. Like if I get a buy it now consigner that sends me something, I just accidentally moved my camera. If I get a buy it now consigner to send me a big batch of stuff, I get it listed. Like I don't want them to wait. I get it listed and I keep going. Sometimes I'll list 100 in a day. My floor is 10 though. Every day this year, I've not missed a day yet. Every day this year, I have it scheduled through next Monday already. 10 a day minimum. Some days 20, some days 25. But I don't think so. I do personally 10 a day minimum. And then if I go above, that's great. If I don't, whatever, it's fine. Does eBay like it more if you do the same number every day forever? Maybe. That would kind of be surprising to me. That feels like too nitpicky. I think what the eBay algorithm likes is just to constantly be seeing new things coming in. They like to see that you're like a serious seller doing this all the time. And one thing you benefit from, I think I have thousands of followers on eBay. I forget exactly how many, but I think they do weekly summaries, weekly wrap-ups. So like if I take a week off listing, that is thousands of people that aren't getting the email that I listed new things. Whereas if I'm listing daily, that means I'm also listing weekly. So I have 3.3K followers. That's 3,300 people that get either push notifications on their app or they get emails or whatever it may be that I'm listing something new. So every time you list something new, you're more likely to get clicks, people coming in, those emails going out, those push notifications going out. And then you just get that traffic and you get more sales. Like I think it logically makes sense. That feels like way too nuanced, way too nitpicky. I think if my number's 10 minimum every day. If your number's 1, if your number's 2, whatever it may be, I would personally think that, yeah, set a floor. And then if one random day you buy a massive collection, don't list 2 a day. Don't take 100 days to list a new collection you just bought to give the algorithm 2 a day. Go higher. Like go higher. Make sure that you're going to meet your 2 a day for the rest of the year. But get those listings to market so that you can start making those sales too. Like there's a balance. There's a balance, I think. Oh man, now I'll have to send you a hey message on the website too. No $100 mystery bags, no wheels, no duck races, no anything like that. I'm not a fan. Brad says I'll do 150. Damn it, I screwed up. I'll bring it to Dallas. I mean, you said you'd do 150, so we'll probably do 150. But yeah, it's yours. It's yours for sure. Which one did you say? The Pidgey outline? I think you said the Pidgey outline. I'll have them all though. I only have like 6 of them, I think. But it's a cool little oddity. I don't know where it went, but I'll bring it. Hold out, Brad. Dan's a terrible negotiator. He counters himself. Yeah, I just sold a an uncut what's it called? I don't even know where I just put it. I just sold an uncut die cut sheet of tops to Brad. Looking forward to pull a PSA 9 Dan. Yeah, PSA 9 Dan is a card that absolutely would go into the mystery bag. Garen says, I ran out of slabs to post. I've since been posting the singles that weren't gradable IMO, and my sales even views have absolutely tanked. I had a stretch. Here's actually a short stack of stuff I pulled from one of my Tops boxes like a few weeks ago. I had a stretch where it's like all my slabs are listed, and then since more slabs have come in, so I have more to list, and more consignments came in. But yeah, like I went and listed, these are all like $5 to $15. I listed these were like 3 days in a row, I think. I probably have like 40 cards here. This was probably 3 or 4 days for me. And in the 3 or 4 days that I listed those, I didn't notice any big difference. Like a handful of those have sold. Not all of them, but a handful have sold. And it all depends on what you're selling, if you're pricing them right. eBay, you probably benefit from having a lot of the same things. Like 95% of my eBay store is graded slabs. And if you're listing, like if I list tomorrow a toaster and an ironing board and like lawnmower parts, that's not going to lead to any additional. So maybe, obviously that's getting extreme, going way away from Pokemon cards. But if you list raw cards, they don't really hit the same people that graded cards hit. So if you do like a year's worth, if all your inventory is graded cards, and then you spend a week listing just raw cards, I could see where your sales overall would hurt slightly, because everyone who's followed you for the past year, they get that notification. Hey, Garen listed new cards. Let me go check. Oh, they're all raw. I don't collect raw. Like I can see where that makes sense. But a lot of people, what they do, a lot of people just really extrapolate. If you sell 30 things a month, like one thing a day on average, you might have a day where you sell 8, and you might have a week where you sell none. Like that week could mean that bad week could be a sign that the Pokemon market is going down, but way more likely, it's just a sign that like no one bought your stuff that week. Like it's not anything you can take broader pictures from. It's like if I open a pack of Evolving Skies. If I go to a booster pack and I open a pack of Evolving Skies and get a Moonbreon, if it came from 3-pack blisters, if it came from a box, it doesn't matter where it came from. Those are not disproportionately better hits. Those are not like, I'm doing a big, I don't think it'll be ready before Dallas because I want to do like a decent job and I want to have all the data sorted out right. But I'm doing a mass native. I opened 10,500 packs. I want to put together a whole binder set and show off the whole binder set. I want to discuss the pull rates on the native 19 and all that. But I opened thousands of packs from spellbooks, 1,000 packs from release event decks, hundreds of packs from blister packs. The pull rates are all the same. That's MetaZoo. That's not Pokemon. Pokemon, I'm sure, is the same way though. Like, people take one data point. I've opened 10 packs of Evolving Skies. 9 came from 3-pack blisters, and I got nothing. And 1 came from a tin, and it was a Moonbreon. So tins are way better pull rates. People do that all the time. Like, people do that all the time. These are LP MP cards. There's actually, I think there's, no, I thought one was sleeved in here, but none of them are sleeved. These cards are not worth sleeving. Like, these cards all have pretty bad edge whitening and issues. They're not worthy of sleeves. I sleeve them when I ship them, but like, they don't sit in my inventory sleeved. I needed to have them out of sleeves to photo them, so I photo them, and as they sell, I penny sleeve them, card save them, and ship them. I want to see Dan's knees hitting his face while riding his lawnmower. Yeah, I'm it's a 42-inch cut Massey Ferguson. I make it look like a very, very small lawnmower, but it is a relatively small lawnmower, I guess. We went from talking about my bad listings to lawnmower parts and now pull rates. The tour on these goat trails is spectacular. You never know where we're going to end up. I just go, I go where you guys lead me sometimes. And then I stray down my own places too. Oh, the Weedle line. The Beedrill line, that's right. I don't know where I put it. But yeah, keep the questions coming if you've got them. I'm trying to think what I'm going to be working on. I do have office hours tonight. I should shout out my Patreon that I do with Jake from Pokenomics. It is linked in the description below if you have any interest. This Sunday, we do a live stream on a live Zoom, like a private Zoom for our paywall Patreon. But I'm doing a presentation on just like a general TCG market pulse, like a state of the market. I haven't done it yet. Like, I have a lot of work to do before Sunday night. But I'm going to be starting that tonight. I'm going to be doing that. Like, most of my day tomorrow will be doing that alongside shipments. I usually put anywhere between 8 to 12 hours at least into these monthly presentations we do. But yeah, I'm going to be doing like I'm going to look at Dragon Ball Super, One Piece, Lorcana, MetaZoo, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic. I'm going to be looking at trends, sales trends using TerraPeak. I'm also going to be looking at pop reports and things like that, grading rates for some of them where we have that available. Pokemon is the big one where we have all that data. But yeah, I'm going to be just doing like a broad market, state of the market type thing and presenting that Sunday. If anyone has any interest, Jake and I do weekly office hours, we call them, in Discord where we're in a live chat. Tonight, my Rangers are playing. I'll have the game on, but I will be in office hours too from 9 to 10 p.m. tonight. So during the game. But yeah, Jake does Tuesdays at 1 p.m. and I do Thursdays at 9 p.m. We change those quarterly. So yeah, I just wanted to give a nice little Patreon shout. Nice little self-promotions. Shameless plug there. Let me get back to the questions though. What kind of a car do you drive? I bet you look too big in whatever it is. I drive a Kia Sportage as of right now. I will be driving a Kia Sportage for quite a while now. It's the first new car I ever bought. Pokemon treated me very, very well. I never thought I'd buy a brand new car, but coupling Pokemon doing really, really well and the pandemic, used cars did not make sense. Like, my goal was to buy a 2 to 3 year old car because historically speaking, you could buy a 2 to 3 year old car for like 30 or 40% off new price. Used, like, a Kia Sportage, I think I paid 30. I paid about 30 for mine. A 2022 should be Kia Sportage. or 2022 Kia Sportage, and it was 30K to get like a 2020 or a 2019 Kia Sportage with like 40,000 miles. It was like 25. Like it made no sense. It only made sense to get the full 10-year 100,000 warranty. You had to buy new basically. Like I'm a PSA 9 collector. I'm a few-year-old car, drive it for a long time buyer. But it only made sense to go new in my position where I was at, and the money made sense, so whatever. But yeah, Kia Sportage is more reasonable considered what, like, I used to drive only sedans. This is my first SUV. So yeah, I do make sedans look, I don't fit in a lot of them. But some small sedans are actually a lot roomier than they look on the outside. I too negotiated against myself. I was offered 80/20 and accepted 60/40. Did I feel like you're mixing two things up though. I'll have to look back retro. I think we were talking 80/20 on one thing. 60/40 was on another, but I'll have to look. Um, we're seeing a sort of max exodus from MTG as a result of a company decisions. What changes within the Pokemon company would make you leave the market? Honestly, probably none. I don't know. Like, Pokemon can do nothing with Ultra Modern that will make me leave everything altogether. I love all this stuff so much. Some people, if they went to serialized, they would be offended. Oh, I'm a master set collector and now I can't afford everything. You don't need to collect everything. You don't have to catch them all, despite my name, despite the slogan. Gotta catch them all. You don't have to. So like, Pokemon can do whatever they want. It's their brand. It's their IP. I don't think I'm ever going to leave it like fully wholesale. I would leave it as a business if it stopped being successful, if it stopped being profitable for me. Obviously, businesses have to make money. So like the whole Magic 30th, if Pokemon did that, cool. I might buy some, depending on the price, depending on what it is. It's not going to like hurt my feelings and make me leave. What do you think about grading promo packs? For example, grading a Vivid Voltage pre-release staff promo pack instead of the cards individually. I hate the idea of grading clear. I know Rusty does it. Rusty loves it, and I love that he loves it. But for me, I just don't get it. Grading clear cellophane when there's cards inside that you can see, but you're not grading the card, you're grading the cellophane. It's just so weird to me. I don't do it. Yeah, sometimes Ray's there, and sometimes he turns my 1 office hour leads into like 3 office hours for Ray. 12 a.m. office hour. That's too late for me. Brad solely in the Patreon to steal Ray's plays. Ray does share some, he shares some big plays in there. Thanks for stopping in, Garen. Office hours filled with all sorts of nuance and actionable information. Retro is one of those people that are very offended by paywalls. He's just, $10 a month. Yeah, I don't know. It's too much. It's too much to charge. He doesn't appreciate it, but it is what it is. Either buy it or don't buy it. It doesn't matter. It's there. You don't have to participate. But yeah, Retro takes offense for some reason, and I don't get it. You know, the whole Giovanni thing. You think he'd be behind, monetizing knowledge and information, but not for everyone, I guess. With the Noir collection, Ray paid for years of Patreon for us. Yeah, Ray, I bought 3 of those Final Fantasy Noir. I paper-handed them. I think they're up not substantially, but I think they're up at least $50 a pop from where I sold them. But I paper-handed them. I sold them all for between $250 to $280, I think. No, please, Ray, you're always welcome. If anyone comes in, no Rangers slander. The Rangers game will be on. I will be watching. No Rangers slander during the office hours. Hopefully the Rangers are just up 5-0 like they were game 1 and game 2, and it won't be an issue. But man, it's such a bummer they let it go back to 2-2. What was up? Professor Birch says, what was up with the beef between the Greenshes and Old Skool Tuesday, I think, in the Slab podcast? Yeah, the Greenshes went all out. Man called out Old Skool Pokemon. I don't want to spoil anything, because I think it will get the top spicy upvote. Go upvote it so that Josh has to talk about it. I'm interested to hear what he has to say, because I know some background on it, and we might have a response. We might have some inside information that we'll share on next week's Pokeflips. So there might be a little bit of a YouTube beef going on between Slabbed and Pokeflips. So we'll see. Zach's Hockey Box is cheering for the Devils. Fan of Hughes, but did pick the Rangers to win the cup. So I'm rooting for your bracket. You're rooting for the Devils. You're rooting against your own bracket, but I'm rooting heavily for your bracket. I believe it's a 4-cylinder. It's I'm not like street racing my Kia Sportage. I know a lot of people are really into cars. It's funny, my dad's actually a mechanic. He's not super into cars as far as like spending on crazy vehicles and dumping a lot of money into them. I never got into it either. Like I don't need something. I'm not towing anything with it. I'm not racing it. It gets me from A to B, and it's a smooth, nice ride, and it's looks decent, and it's warranted for 10 years, 100,000 miles. Those are the things I care about. I used to work with people who would just like vehicles. Vehicles are one of the worst things that Americans do to bankrupt themselves. And I'm not aiming this at anyone. I'm aiming this specifically at some of my old coworkers. It's just mind blowing how some people care so much about like, oh yeah, they got the biggest truck in the parking lot and they got these fancy wheels, and it's like, I remember I took a picture of it. I took a picture out my window once at work because the guy with one of the biggest trucks in the lot, he had a dirt bike, and he towed a trailer. Like he had a pickup truck with a bed on it that the dirt bike could have fit in, and he towed a trailer to put the dirt bike on because he didn't want to scratch his truck. And this guy had this big truck, V8, V10, 12, whatever it was, fancy $70,000 truck. He never used it. He didn't use it for anything. It's like, I just don't understand that. Like, I'm not trying to yuck yums. If you like that, you got the money, you do it. I just know too many people that bankrupt themselves over stuff like that. And that, like, to see someone have a vehicle. I'm the kind of guy who has a Kia Sportage. I just built a walkway recently. I looked up the payload capacity of a Kia Sportage, and it's like 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds passengers and cargo. Well, I had to go to Lowe's, and I had to get like 30, I think it was 38 stones for my walkway. And the stones were like 40 pounds a piece. So I'm doing the math. I'm like, I think it worked out. So it was like 1,200 pounds worth of stones. And I'm a 250-pound dude. I was running like 1,500 pounds. I'm like, I think I can run it. I'm in the Lowe's parking lot, loading these stones into my Sportage, watching the suspension go down. I took a couple test loops around the driveway or the parking lot so that I knew I could steer fully to the right, fully to the left without anything rubbing. And I just went slow the whole way home. Not a long drive from Lowe's, but not recommended, not advice to overload your payload capacity of your vehicle. But yeah, I was hauling more in my Kia Sportage than so a lot of people that I know with pickup trucks will put in their pickup truck. That bed will never have a scratch. It'll never do anything. But yet they have to have a pickup truck. And yeah, it's just funny to me. Anyways, let me... I'm sure there's some funny live chat going on, so let me try to catch up. Mr. Walrus is spilling the beans on what happened. I bought my used car a month before everything spiked. Make sure to join my Patreon for other accurate predictions. Think you'll save money with a 4-cylinder, not if you have to push the gas up hills all the time. Oh, God. Honestly, like, it was always a joke because I was an engineer, and a lot of the production guys, I mean, some of the production guys had very good finances, I'm sure, but some of them were just the people that they rolled over underwater car loans, one to the next, banks doing like absolutely illegal things to get them in new vehicles. And he would always bust my balls because like I was the one the first year I worked my chemical engineering job. I lived with my parents. I drove a 2000 Dodge Intrepid in 2011. In 2011, I was living with my parents and driving a 2000 or 2001 Dodge Intrepid. And it had a couple of dings and dents, and it was like the cheapest car in the lot. There were guys making 15, 20 bucks an hour driving $50,000 cars. And it's like, I'm paying off my student loans. I'm saving up a down payment. A year later, I was out of my parents' house, and that's just the way I am with finances. And I'm finally 10 years later, 12 years later, I'm buying the first new car I've ever bought in my life, like kind of reaping the rewards of being frugal and savvy with personal finance and all that. You'll be driving a Kia Sportage forever because the value on those declines by 97% once you drive it off the lot. I intend to drive it for 10 years. I'm going to drive it for the full warranty. Absolutely. I only put 10,000 miles on so far, and I've had it for like 15 months. So I'm under 10,000 a year. I'll get the full 10 years out of it. A lot of people, yeah, a lot of people probably live in cities and don't have a car. What is a Sportage? It's an SUV. Shots fired literally and figuratively. I don't know what I said. Oh, cello packs, I guess. It prints when the cards inside are a PSA 6, but the cello's a 10. Absolutely. So Ray getting made fun of and still sharing plays. Y'all broke that, man. The Grinch is about to get exposed. My comment is not winning, so we won't ever know. Well, Pokeflips might still provide context anyways, but we'll see. Come to Team Rocket where we celebrate plays. PokeTuber diss track season when? I could have swore you drove a Lambo. Pretty surprised by your answer. Never a Lambo, never a Corvette, never anything like that. I got into the Pokenomics paywall to literally support two of my favorite channels for all the free content I've received. I appreciate you, the Green Shits. But I don't take offense to anyone who doesn't either. Like, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the people who have the memberships. I know Amplitude gifted most of them. But yeah, I appreciate any and all support, and none of it's needed either. Like, there's a lot of people that I talk to all the time that aren't in the paywall, and that's fine. Like, Nick is not in. I'm partnered. Like, the person I talk to most and the person I talk to on every other week, we do the Pokeflips podcast, he's never been in my Patreon. He has a Patreon. I'm not in. And it's fine. Like, he's presented in my Patreon, in mine and Jake's Patreon. And I've presented and Jake has presented in his and Chris and Brennan's Patreon. And it's perfectly fine. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like anything else. Buy or buy. Like, pay the $10, don't pay the $10. It's all fine. You announced the beef like it's the next Mayweather McGregor fight. Ooh, like ran the motor dry without oil, like after an oil, like changed the oil and forgot to put the oil back in. I'm assuming that sounds rough. V8's a vegetable juice, not a motor. My dad owns a Ford F-150. I think it's like a fact of, he used to always be a Chevy guy. And my grandpa was, his dad was a Ford guy. And now he owns a Ford F-150. It's just, like, my dad has owned Fords. He's owned Chevys. He's owned Pontiacs. He's owned all different kinds of cars over the years. He primarily likes to go, like, American made, whatever the reason is. But he does all the work himself, so like it's not a big deal. If it's I get Toyotas and Hondas probably more reliable. He's doing the work anyway, so it's not a big deal. But he has an F-150 as of right now because that's what he got a good deal on. Like he had a good deal at the time. I think he knows a few people who own dealerships and this and that. So like whatever's there when he needs a vehicle, he just tries to find a good deal, buys it. He's very much like me. He doesn't like banks and he doesn't like dealing with loans and he just buys a vehicle and it's over and done and no financing, and that's the way in my perspective how to do it. Yes, I enjoy my $800 car payment. What about it? 400 of that being interest, of course. Yeah, I know people with $1,000, $1,500 truck payments. It's not for me. Like if it's for you, great. Have we talked about Ethernet cords yet? No, we're talking cars right now. We got 6 minutes left, so you never know what might come up. I paid $700 for my current vehicle. Runs like a champ. No car payment equals more money to PSA. Yeah, my first car was given to me by my parents. I mean, some people are given a brand new current year $50,000 car. Some people have to buy their first car. I was given a 1996 Pontiac Bonneville was my first car. It was my grandma's car. And then it was given to me. It was like the situation where if you have the money and you want to go buy something, you can buy something. But here's a car you can have. It gets you from A to B. And that car blew up within like 6 months. So then I went to my mom's old car, a 98 Chevy Lumina. But yeah, the first couple cars were given to me. My dad was a mechanic. He had cheap cars that he got priced well, put some money into it, fixed them up. And I mean, that's... to some people that would be, I'm entitled, I'm whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, my story is my story. Some people had more, some people had less. Like, it just is what it is. But I went through a lot of like the first car I've ever owned that was produced in the decade I was driving it was this 2022 Kia Sportage that I bought myself. Paid in full. Again, Pokemon treated me well. Every other car I owned prior, none of them were worth. I think the most I ever paid was an '08. In 2013, I bought like an '08 Sable. It was like a fully loaded Sable. Really, really nice car. Mercury Sable. I paid like $6,500 for that, I think. That was the most I had paid prior. Anyways, I'll race you in my Prius. Dan Tokyo drift out. Oh, man. Dan chemical engineering his way into his Kia. How long have you been watching / interacting with PokeTubers? Were you around for the 2010s era of Super Duper Danny, Primetime Pokemon, Jordan Japan, The Cat's Meow, Silver Snorlax? I used to watch, who talks about him? Gemmit Pokemon talks about Crack Rock McCabe. I used to watch Primetime Pokemon, Gemmit Pokemon, Crack Rock McCabe, TCA Gaming. Really, really weird name. That's why it stands out to me. But yeah, Crack Rock McCabe is a deep cut. He commented on one of my videos before, so maybe he'll comment on this one too. He used to crack a lot of boxes. I bought a lot of like non-hollow bulk from him that built my sets out, ones that I didn't get from opening my own boxes. But yeah, I see Ray. Some people would hear that and some people would say like, what an entitled little spoiled brat. Like, yeah, I did not grow up in a super rich household. I again, like, it's not relevant to anybody. Some people care about it, some people don't, but like, middle class, relatively. I don't know if it would have been upper or lower middle class. Out in the woods, I got $1,000 car given to me, and then that one blew up, and I got another $1,000 car given to me. And yeah, again, some people get more, some people get less. College, I took out $25K in loans. I my whole life savings when I graduated high school, my whole life savings was like 15 or 20 grand, all gone the first year of college. My parents, my savings, and my loans were about equal portions. So I think at the end of the day, scholarships paid for most of my college, and then my parents paid for a portion, and I paid for a portion, and I took loans in a portion. Again, some people get nothing, some people get more. This is just what I got. This is my background. This is my story. Relevant or not, some people think it is, some people think it isn't. To an extent, where I am today is because of what happened in my life. So like, it's relevant to who I am, where I am. Whether it's relevant to a Pokemon channel, I don't know. But I think it's interesting. It's interesting to hear. Not everyone shares it, but when people do share their backgrounds, I enjoy hearing it. I enjoy hearing it about other people. So to share my own, I don't really mind if people care. But should I be scared or happy that I'm the same with my financials as Dan? Added a racing stripe to my car. It's a RAV6 now. My spoiler's made of cardboard. Just had to watch 2 no-skip YouTube ads to see you, Dan. Better be worth it. I have, as far as I understand, I universally disabled non-skippable video ads. So you shouldn't be getting, I'll have to double check my settings. But as far as I am aware, I don't think non-skippable ads, I hate them. I have YouTube Premium, but before I had YouTube Premium, I hated non-skippable ads, and I would leave videos for non-skippable ads. So I made it a point to never put them. I know they pay the most, because obviously they get the most watch time. But I made it a point to never put a non-skippable ad on any of my videos. So I need to go check that, honestly. Either Adblock or YouTube Premium. Those exist. Greeny Ass Kisser confirmed. Watch next week's Pokeflips. I don't know how it came across that I was on Greeny's side. Or maybe you were talking to someone in chat. But no, Nick and I have some pushback for the call out, for sure. Dan didn't answer my DMs until I joined this membership in the Discord. I've 3,275 subscribers. I have about similar on Instagram. I still answer everything. I think I'm nearing the point where at some point I'll stop. I'll have to. But at this point, I'm still answering all my tags on Discord. I'm answering all my emails, all my Instagram DMs, all my Discord DMs, paid or unpaid. I'm answering all of them. But oh man. Dan only pretended to be my friend once I joined the Discord. No, I specifically, like, I'm in Oak's Discord, and I shout out Oak's Discord for it being free. I don't want people to think that you need to pay to access me. We made the non-paywalled Collecticon planning Discord for that reason too. What should I use as my return address for a TCG player? I don't want to put my apartment address, and I'm too cheap for a PO box. PO box is the right answer. I mean, a PO box is $100, $100-something a year. It's the right answer, especially if you don't want to use your apartment address. You just gotta put out the money for it, I think. Thoughts on getting a car loan on PayPal Pay in 4? I don't like loans for anything. I just don't like banks. I don't like loans. I don't like debt. I'm gonna try to turbo catch up. Hayden, what's your thoughts on Astro Radiance? I just get so sick and tired of people not understanding how financially irresponsible it is to buy a new vehicle. Oh man. I had a 5K budget in 2001, bought a 93 Camaro Z28. Fun mistake. My parents gave me a threat of adult onset diabetes. Only thing I got from my parents was a beating. Now I give Dan money so I watch ads. Question, I'm selling a Moonbreon Japanese, received an offer of 2.5K, but from a zero feedback buyer. Is it worth the risk? I'm in the UK shipping via GSP to Canada, so do I have any seller protection? One great thing we have in the US now is authenticity guarantee. I know that it sounds like you don't have that. GSP though, I've never had an issue with GSP. GSP is like final sale. I don't think they do a full inspection like they do with authenticity guarantee. So I don't want to say 100%, but I would feel 99% comfortable with, I would feel 100% comfortable with that personally, but I could also stomach a $2,500 loss. If you're in a spot where you can't afford to lose it, the only sure deal is going to an LGS cash in hand. That people undervalue cash in hand. Oh, my LGS is trying to scam me because they're only paying me 80% cash. Like if your LGS would pay you 2K cash, there's no mail, there's no fees. 2K, you walk out, you're done. And maybe they wouldn't pay you that much. Maybe they'd pay you 1.5K, maybe they'd pay you 60%. But at the end of the day, like the only risk-free transaction is cash in hand, and it's not going to be as high of a number. So you need to just figure out your risk tolerance and then go from there. Sounds like you'd be fine, but there's that 1% chance. Like there's always that 1% chance. I got scholarships to pay for it, maxed out student loans, put them in the stock market, worked part-time, and had 25K when I graduated after paying off the balances. If you want a real office hours from Dan, wait until he's 4 beers deep at Collecticon and ask a market question. 100%, 100%. The best information comes after midnight, after 2 a.m., after 3 a.m. at Collecticon. So find me there. I'll be at Dallas next weekend. Find me there. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. I'm already 2 minutes into overtime. I appreciate everyone hanging out, watching. I will catch you all